What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Crypto Beard, the channel devoted to keeping you in the know with everything that's happening in the crypto sphere. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the epic Bitcoin, Ethereum dump that happened over the weekend and yesterday. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, talk a little bit about what's happening with inflation and the future and what we can expect going forward. Is this the end? Is Bitcoin and Ethereum over? No, they're not. That's the short answer, but let's get into it right now. So for starters, guys, what brought about all of this negative price action? Well, it's pretty simple. Inflation. Inflation was way higher than what many experts had believed it would be, and combine that with poor consumer sentiment about the economy, and you get epic sell-offs, which in turn affects Bitcoin and Ethereum. Why does that affect Bitcoin and Ethereum? Because, guys, when people pull out of the market, usually they're just getting out of every investment. They're going to what they know. And what do they know? Cash. But let's talk just a little bit about that, about cash. Is the Federal Reserve's policy, economic policy, good? Is their policy as far as what they're doing with the dollar a good thing? No, it's not. If you look at how much money is in circulation compared to how much was in circulation 6 years ago. I mean, if you really want to look how much was in circulation 10 years ago or 20, it's insane, guys. The amount of expansion of the money supply. And so what does that mean? Well, you and I get to be a little bit poorer. Why is that? Well, because when more dollars are in circulation, each dollar is worth a little bit less. It's called supply and demand, guys. It is a law. It's reality. Okay, you can't avoid it. And the Federal Reserve has been trying to avoid it and play games with it. And so I do believe that a lot of the inflation that's caused is oil. However, and that's talking about direct price impact as far as what you see at the pump. But guys, inflation in reality is caused by money printing. Okay, so what we feel at the pump with the pricing, I think, is a lot more to do with oil, but we will feel the consequences of inflation as all this money spreads out, because a lot of times what happens is money is created through loans. It's literally just created with the keyboard, and so we don't feel that until it gets into circulation, until you have all this increased money supply, and then as you do, people start to realize that the dollar is worth less. And it really stinks. It's sad because it makes you and me both a little bit poorer. But let's talk about what we can do to hedge against that. Well, we can invest in Bitcoin. You say, but Bitcoin's dropped tremendously. Yes, and yet, is Bitcoin still valuable? Absolutely. Still solves the same problems that we've had. In fact, today, if you were going to try to send $25,000 to a friend in Japan, the cheapest and most efficient way to do so is still Bitcoin. And that's not changing. However, I don't think Bitcoin is the answer to all areas of how to transact. I think Ethereum does a lot for us in that aspect, and what we can do, what can be achieved in smart contracts and making the world a better place with them. But you know what? There's still kinks to be ironed out. Things like optimism and what's recently happened with Celsius, which we will cover in another video coming up soon. But guys, ultimately, these Bitcoin, Ethereum, these cryptocurrencies are solving problems that need to be solved. The technology is superior, and it will win at the end of the day. The problem is that we have to wait till people come to the realization that this is better? Well, think of it as the same as you would think about the internet when it was created. I remember being one of the first kids I knew to be, actually involved in interacting with the internet. I remember back in the day getting up with dial-up. Anybody remember that? I remember doing that in the early 90s. I remember waiting to load a web page, walking into another room, coming back. And then I remember when we got DSL and it changed everything, because now things were loading super fast. Or in my opinion, it was super fast, because even if it was 1 meg, at 56K, you're talking huge, ginormous leap as far as speed. And so what happened is the more that fast internet became available, the more adoption, the more internet grew, and then it really exploded when cell phones came about, when smartphones came about, because now you could have easy to operate computers that people all across the world could get access to. And so that's what exploded the growth of the internet. But Bitcoin is growing at a much faster rate as far as adoption. Crypto, and as a whole, I shouldn't say Bitcoin, crypto as a whole is growing at a much faster adoption rate. And as more developers develop more mobile-centric dApps, you will see more people coming to it. And so ultimately this is going to win out. Look at Bitcoin in the long charts, guys. Look at what it's done since its inception, or even just over the last 10 years. Bitcoin's done gangbusters. So you have to look at it like that. Is right now a great time to buy? Yes, it is. Let's talk about short-term analytics. Okay, for the short term, here's what I see Bitcoin doing. I see it fluctuating through, between 0 and 30%. All right. I say 0, between 5 and 30%. I shouldn't say that. So why do I think that it's going to fluctuate so much during the short term? Because I know that we are going to have more negative news that is going to cause us to shift downward even more so. However, guys, I do believe that you're going to see bulls come in and buy up some of this. Even today we're having upward momentum, so I think you're going to see that every time. And so let's say Bitcoin gets back up to 30,000, but then you hear the Fed's going to raise rates. Boom, Bitcoin's going to take another dump. Okay, so you have to understand this. The reason why I'm telling you this, and the reason why I want you to go look at that long chart, is because it is a very stable long-term investment. However, if you are concerned about short-term price action, then you probably shouldn't get into it, because in the short term, you can get into it, just be very careful, because in the short term, it's going to be doing this. There's going to be a little bit of wave riding, and that's okay. That is okay, because guys, there are great things coming in store. I believe that we could see $1 million Bitcoin within the next 5 years. And so that's what I see for the short term. Ethereum has some more hoops to jump through. I think we'll cover that more in the next video. But hey, if you've enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button. We have there's good news. If you look at like I told you before, look at the long chart of Bitcoin and see what it's done. Guys, it almost reached $70,000 a token, and now you have the opportunity to buy it for almost $50,000 less. It's a fantastic deal. So right now there's awesome opportunities. We're going to talk more about those to come, more altcoin opportunities to come. But that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you liked it. Share it, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.